He found her locked in the cold cave. Alone, hurt and scared, Jaren was only 15 when his school sent him on a learning trip to planet Virex. It was part of a program for young space cadets. The planet was cold, full of old alien ruins and strange mountains. Jaren was the youngest in the group, but he was brave and very curious. On the second day, while others took photos and talked, Jaren walked away from the group. He followed a broken path through rocks and ice. The wind howled like it was trying to stop him. Still, he kept walking. He didn't know why, but something pulled him forward. Then, he saw it. A cave. Dark. Silent. Hidden between two tall stones. The others had told him not to go far, but Jaren stepped closer. Something about this cave felt strange, almost like it was waiting. He took out his small flashlight and went in. Inside, it was cold, colder than outside. The walls were smooth, almost like metal. He walked deeper, heart beating faster. Every step echoed. Then he heard it. A soft sound. Not wind, not an animal. It was a whisper, a voice, very weak, very soft. Help. Jaren froze. He lifted the flashlight. The light moved across the floor and stopped. In the corner, lying against the wall, was someone. It wasn't human. The figure was small, thin, and shaking. She had long silver hair, dirty and tangled. Her skin was pale blue. Her hands were tied with glowing red bands. Her eyes were half closed, but when the light touched her face, she blinked and looked at him. Jaren's breath caught. She looked scared, but not angry, not wild, just tired. He stepped closer. Are you okay? She didn't answer. She looked at the glowing bands on her hands, then back at him, like she was trying to ask for help without words. Jaren looked around. No guards, no doors, no machines, just her, locked away. Who did this to you? He asked, kneeling beside her, still no answer. Then she spoke. Just one word. Too early. Jaren didn't understand. What do you mean? She shook her head slowly. You are not ready. He looked at her wounds. Small cuts on her arms, bruises, dried blood on her legs. He wanted to scream. Who would hurt someone like this? He touched the red bands. They burned hot. He pulled his hand back. He needed help, real help. I'll come back, he whispered. I'll bring someone. We'll get you out. But her eyes grew wide. She shook her head. No one must know. Jaren was confused. But I can't leave you here. She looked into his eyes and spoke again, this time clearly. You must go. Grow strong. Come back. When you are older. Her voice was soft, almost like wind. Before he could say anything else, she closed her eyes. The red bands lit up, brighter. The floor under her glowed with strange lines and symbols. A sound filled the air, like metal grinding. Jaren stepped back. The light swallowed her, and she was gone. The cave was empty. No girl, just cold air and silence. Jaren ran back to the others, shaking. He didn't tell anyone what he saw. They would laugh, or worse, call him crazy. But that night, while others slept, Jaren sat alone under the stars. Her voice echoed in his head. Come back, when you are older. He didn't know who she was or what she meant, but deep inside he knew one thing. This wasn't over. He grew strong. For her, he trained. Like a warrior, Jaren never told anyone about the girl in the cave, but he never forgot her. Years passed. His body changed. His voice grew deeper. But one thing stayed the same, her words. Come back, when you are older. He didn't know her name. He didn't know her story. But her eyes, they lived in his dreams. They didn't beg for help. They trusted him. So Jaren made a promise to himself. He would become someone worth that trust. At 16, While others played games, Jaren studied alien languages. At 17, he trained with older soldiers, ran with weights, learned to fight. At 18, he joined the Earth Defense Program. People laughed. "You're too young. You're too soft. You'll never make it." But Jaren didn't care. Every time he wanted to give up, he remembered her face. Pale, weak, tied to the wall like a thing, not a person. He pushed harder. Every wound was a step closer. By 21, he had medals. By 22, he was part of the recon unit. Only, the best went there. He could have chosen any mission, but he chose Virex again, the planet where it all began. "Why go back there?" the commander asked. "Just unfinished business," Jaren replied. This time he came alone. No tour group, no schoolmates, just a small black ship, some supplies, and a burning question in his heart. Is she still alive? He landed on the same frozen land. It looked the same. But it felt different, quieter, almost like the planet remembered him. He checked the map he drew by hand 7 years ago. One path, 2 rock towers, cold wind. He found the cave. The opening was still there, but it was deeper now, like it had sunk into the ground. He stepped in, the same smooth walls, the same cold air. He walked slowly, breathing heavy. Each step brought back memories. Then he reached the back wall. Where she had been, nothing, just dust and dark stone. Jaren dropped to his knees. He didn't cry, he just sat. Silent. Then, a sound. A soft click. He turned quickly. His flashlight hit something. The wall behind him was glowing. Blue lines. Alien symbols. They pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat. He stepped closer. And there, between the symbols, was a message. It wasn't written, in human language, but Jaren had studied enough. He read it aloud. "You came, but too late. They took me. I waited. I remember." Jaren touched the wall. It was warm, not dead, not forgotten. Alive, just like her. He stood up, fire returning to his chest. She was out there. Not gone. Not dead. Taken. By who? Why? He didn't know. But he would find out. He pulled out his scanner and checked for old energy trails. Weak signals. Barely there. But something. He followed it. Out of the cave. Across the rocks. Into the deep wild of Virex. The wind howled again, but Jaren didn't stop. He whispered to the night. "I'm ready now." The cave was empty, but the blood was fresh. Jaren followed the trail for hours. The scanner beeped slowly. A faint energy signal led him through frozen hills and broken metal ruins. Everything was quiet, too quiet. Even the wind had stopped. The sky above was dark purple, full of strange lights and moving shadows. This part of Virex wasn't on any map. No mission, no patrol, no humans had been here for years. Jaren's boots crunched over ice and stone. Then he saw something. A second cave, smaller than the first, hidden behind a collapsed tower. The scanner went wild. The signal was strong now. Alive. He stepped closer, flashlight raised. What he saw made his blood run cold. Blood, red, still fresh, spilled across the stone floor like something had been dragged. Jaren knelt and touched it. Still warm. He looked up. The cave went deep. The walls inside were smooth like they were carved by machines, no animals, no footprints. But the silence felt wrong, like the cave was watching him. He walked in, slowly, heart pounding. The deeper he went, the stranger the air became. Warm, wet, heavy, like breathing inside a mouth. Then he heard it, a soft hum, like a machine dreaming, and whispers, not words, just sound, coming from the walls. He turned a corner. There, carved into the floor, was a large circle. In the eye center, a metal chair, strange red stains all over it. Restraints, wires, symbols. Jaren's hand shook. This wasn't a prison, it was a lab. Or worse. He stepped closer. His flashlight flickered. Something moved in the shadows. "Who's there?" he shouted. No answer. He turned quickly. Nothing. Just that same hum, and something else. A small, silver lock of hair, lying beside the chair. He picked it up. His breath caught. It was hers. She had been here, and not long ago. Suddenly, the walls lit up. Red lights. Fast, blinking. The ground shook. A deep voice spoke from the ceiling in an alien language Jaren didn't know, but one word repeated over and over. Containment. 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 Jaren backed up. Something was wrong, very wrong. Then a panel on the wall opened, and a projection appeared, a hologram. It was her. Not live. A recording. Her face was tired, her eyes full of sadness. She looked older, wiser. "Jaren," she said, "if you found this, then I'm already gone." He stared, frozen. She knew he would come. "I left a path behind, not for rescue, but for truth." She touched the side of her head in the video. "I remembered you, but now, I must forget." Her voice cracked. "I'm not who I was, and if they find you, run." The hologram ended, and silence returned. Jaren stood still. The blood on the floor, the chair, the warning. He clenched his fists. They hurt her, used her, maybe even erased her memories. But why? Who were they? And why did they want him to forget? No, he wouldn't forget. He couldn't. Outside, the sky turned black. The stars vanished behind clouds. Jaren walked out of the cave, hair standing on end. He looked back one last time. A cold wind blew, the lock of silver hair from his hand, gone but not lost. He set his jaw. If they took her mind, he'd bring it back, piece by piece, even if it meant going to war. Captured by the alien clan, they say she's cursed. Jaren walked through the dead forest of Virex. Trees like black bones pointed at the sky. The air smelled of ash and metal. He hadn't slept. The hologram of the girl played over and over in his mind. Her voice. Her eyes. She remembered him. But something had changed. She sounded like someone else now. And someone, or something, had taken that from her. He needed answers. As he passed through the ruins of an old temple, he heard whispers. Real. This time, not in his head, voices. Moving. He turned fast, gun ready. Too late. A net of blue light dropped from above. Pain shot through his body. He fell. Darkness took him. When he woke, he was inside a stone chamber. His arms were tied behind him with glowing rope. In front of him stood 3 figures, tall, wrapped in bone-white cloaks. Eyes glowing under their hoods, aliens, but not soldiers, not scientists. They looked ancient. One stepped forward. "You seek the girl?" it said. Its voice was deep, cold. Jaren didn't answer. He didn't need to. The alien held up something. A drawing, old, scratched into black stone. It was her. Same eyes, same silver hair, but with wings of fire, and black smoke behind her. "She is not what you think," the alien said. "She is not yours to save." Jaren struggled against the ropes. "Where is she?" The alien didn't blink. "She was born, of light, but carries the dark. Long ago our kind tried to end her before she grew." Jaren stared. "You tried to kill her?" "We tried to save the stars," the alien said calmly. "She was too powerful. A curse hidden in a child's form." Jaren shook his head. "She's not a curse, she's just a girl." The alien looked at him for a long time. No longer. They untied him, but not because they trusted him, because they wanted him to see something. They led him into a deeper, room, below the chamber. There on the wall was a massive mural, thousands of years old. It showed a being, like her, not a girl, a queen, with fire in her hands and galaxies bowing before her. The alien spoke. She is part of an ancient race. Lost, feared, worshipped. They called her Valari, the Star Dreamer. Jaren stared. The name was familiar. It was what she whispered in her sleep in the first cave. Valari. She has power to create, the alien said, and to destroy. If the wrong ones wake her mind, they will use her to end worlds. Jaren turned to them. Then why didn't you protect her? The alien stepped back into the shadows. We did, by hiding her from herself. Jaren walked out of the temple alone. No weapons, no map, just a name, Valari. She wasn't just a prisoner, she was something greater, something everyone feared. And now she was missing. He stood at the edge of a cliff, wind blowing his jacket. The stars above him blinked like a warning. He didn't care. He didn't come this far to be afraid now. She had waited. She had whispered his name, and he had come back. He whispered hers now. Valari, I'm not leaving without you. She remembers him. But she's not the same girl. Jaren found the tower at sunset. It stood tall and silent in the middle of a black desert, made of crystal and steel, glowing from deep inside like it had a heartbeat. His scanner was dead. No signal. No sound, just one thing written on the gate. Only he who was remembered may enter. Jaren stepped forward. The door opened by itself. He walked in. The inside was quiet, warm. Strange lights floated in the air like tiny stars. The halls were smooth, endless, and alive, like he was walking inside a sleeping machine. He kept moving, one foot after the other, heart pounding. He knew she was here. He could feel it. And then, he saw her. She stood in the center of the room. Tall, still, dressed in white robes that shimmered like water. Her hair was silver and smooth, falling past her shoulders. Her eyes glowed softly. She was beautiful, but not the same. Valari, he said. She turned. Her face changed, from calm to surprised. And then, softly, with a voice like wind through trees, you came back. Jaren stepped closer. You remember me? She nodded slowly. Your name is Jaren. You were kind to me a long time ago. He smiled, but something in her voice felt off. Too distant, too quiet. He reached out his hand. I came to take you away. From them. From all of this. She looked down. You are late, she said. Jaren's heart dropped. Late? They woke me, she said. They took my memories, then gave me new ones. She stepped closer. Her eyes studied him. I remember pain. I remember chains. But now I remember power. The room shook gently as she spoke. Jaren felt the air change. Heavier. She raised a hand. Lights formed above her fingers. I waited for you, she said. But while I waited, I became something else. He looked into her eyes. They were still hers, but also not. There was sorrow inside them, and something dangerous. Jaren took a deep breath. Then, let me help you remember who you really are. She tilted her head. Why? Because I never stopped thinking about you. For a moment, just a breath. Her lips trembled, like she felt something. Then she turned away. They're coming, she said. The ones who gave me this mind. They will see you as a threat. Jaren stepped beside her. Then we fight together. She looked back at him. This time, her eyes were soft. You would fight for someone who is no longer human? He smiled gently. You never were, and I never cared. Suddenly the lights dimmed. A voice echoed in the tower. Intruder detected. Terminate. Jaren drew his weapon. Valari raised her hand. No, she whispered. Let them come. Power surged around her. The floor lit up beneath her feet. Her silver hair rose in the air like it was alive. Jaren stepped back in awe. She wasn't the same girl he once knew. She was something more, something they had tried to break. And instead, they had created a storm. She looked at Jaren one last time. You came back for the girl. He nodded. But I am no longer the girl, she said. Jaren held his ground. Then I'll stay. For who you are now. Betrayal, escape, and the secret inside her mind. The sky above the crystal tower turned red. The ground outside shook like something heavy had landed. They had found her, and they were coming. Jaren stood beside Valari. She didn't flinch. She didn't run. She just stared at the door. They called you their weapon, Jaren said. But I see someone who just wants to be free. Valari's voice was cold. I stopped being free the day they erased my name. Suddenly, boom. The wall cracked open. Soldiers in black armor stormed in. Not human, not alien. Something in between. Their voices echoed like machines. Target located, capture alive, kill the human. Valari's eyes flashed bright. The soldiers opened fire, but the bullets froze in the air. One blink, and Valari waved her hand. The bullets melted mid-air into dust. Jaren ducked behind a pillar, gun ready. Valari floated forward. She didn't walk. Now. She hovered, like the air itself was carrying her, and then she stopped. Something was wrong. Her hands dropped. Her eyes went wide. A voice echoed from behind the soldiers. Enough. A man stepped into the light. Human, wearing Earth military gear, and Jaren knew that face. Captain Hale, his old commander. You? Jaren asked. What are you doing here? Hale didn't smile. He looked at Valari. She's dangerous. You were just a boy when you found her. You had no idea what she truly is. I know enough, Jaren said. Hale walked slowly, hands behind his back. She's not a girl. She's not your lost friend. She's a weapon left behind by the first ones, and we've been trying to unlock her memory for years, Valari whispered. You broke me. Hale didn't deny it. You were too strong, so we sliced your mind, bit by bit, until only fragments remained. Jaren aimed his gun. Then why is she alive? Hale stopped. She's the key to controlling every ancient machine in this part of the galaxy. We don't want to kill her. We want to use her. Valari shook her head. No, she whispered. You want to rewrite me. And then she screamed. Not loud. Deep. Like thunder rolling from inside her chest. The tower cracked. Glass shattered. Light burst from her skin. Jaren fell to the ground, covering his ears. Then silence. The soldiers were gone. So was Captain Hale. Just dust in the wind. Valari dropped to her knees, shaking. Jaren ran to her. Her eyes were full of tears. I saw it, she said. Saw what? Jaren asked. She looked at him, and something inside her broke open. Memories. They came flooding back, children screaming, stars dying, her own hands, glowing with fire as planets burned. She backed away. No. No. I did this. Jaren grabbed her shoulders. That wasn't you. That was them. The ones who controlled you. She looked up, eyes full of pain. There's a part of me locked deep inside, a memory they couldn't reach. Jaren asked. What is it? Valari whispered. A command. One word. If spoken, I become the... And the ground cracked beneath them. The tower was collapsing. Jaren held her hand. Then we leave. Together. Valari looked back once, at the walls that had held her, at the power she couldn't understand. Then she nodded, and ran with him into the night, but far above them, in the orbit of Virex. A signal had been sent. Someone else had heard her name, someone even worse than Hale. And they were coming. He could have left her behind, but he stayed. The escape ship hovered above the dark hills of Virex. Its door was open. Its engines were hot. The countdown had started. Jaren stood at the ramp, holding his breath. He looked behind him. Valari wasn't there yet. She was still deep in the ruins, alone, searching, fighting herself. A voice crackled in his earpiece. Jaren, you have 60 seconds. The planet is breaking. Get out of there. He didn't move. Didn't blink. His heart said one thing. She came back once for you. Now it's your turn. He jumped off the ramp and ran back into the storm. The sky was falling. Black lightning ripped through the air. The ground shook. Pieces of the tower exploded behind him. He found her on her knees near a burning altar. The old alien carvings glowed around her like fire. Her body was shaking. Her hands were over her ears. She was whispering something over and over, don't say the word, don't say the word. Jaren dropped beside her. You're not alone. She looked up, tears running down her glowing face. You should have left. I didn't come this far to leave you. She screamed. I remember what I did. I destroyed cities. I melted stars. I erased entire races. She clutched her chest. I'm not just Valari. I'm what they built to win a war that should have never been fought. Jaren took her hands. You're more than what they made you. No, I'm not. Yes, you are, he said. Because you remembered me. You chose me. She stared at him, eyes wide, breath broken. You stayed, she whispered. I stayed. A giant shadow passed overhead. In the sky above, a monstrous ship entered orbit. A signal buzzed in her mind. A voice, cold and cruel, spoke inside her head. Speak the word. End everything. That is your final purpose. She shook. The word was right there on her tongue. One word, and every living thing on Virex would vanish, even Jaren. She looked at him. I can't hold it, she cried. It's inside me, pulling me apart. Jaren didn't flinch. He held her face in his hands. Then give it to me. She blinked. What? Give me the word. I'll carry it. I'll bury it. Let me carry your pain. She sobbed. You'll die. He smiled sadly. I'd rather die as myself than live knowing I left you alone. Suddenly the energy inside her began to shift. The glow faded. The storm calmed. She gasped. The word, the curse, the weapon was gone. She had given it to him, and it didn't destroy him. Because he didn't fight it, he loved her. Not as a weapon, not as a goddess, but as the girl who once whispered, come back, when you are older. They stood together under the shaking sky. Jaren helped her up. And this time, she didn't float. She walked. Beside him. The ship waited. Together they climbed aboard. The door closed behind them. As the engines roared, Virex began to break apart below. But they didn't look back. Not this time. They sat together in silence, her head resting on his shoulder, eyes closed, at peace. She whispered one last time, thank you for staying. And Jaren smiled. I was never leaving.